there are going to be budget hearings in Sacramento. We need you to come to Sacramento and talk to all of those legislators and tell your stories, because they're the ones who will make sure those cuts don't stay in the governor's budget. So we hope you stay involved, stay connected to these organizations, ask us any questions. We just have to stay united and fight, fight, fight all the way through. So thank you very much for being here.
Thank you, Mary.
Hi, my name is Mary Ignatius with ParentVoices. I am the statewide organizer, and we fight for childcare for all families. We came here today in a coalition. We're here with seniors, with families, with the disabled, with CalWorks moms, all of us united because the governor's budget cuts are targeting everyone, and by targeting everyone, it's a strategy to really try and pit us against one another. So we decided we needed to come together and hold a protest at the governor's district office. There are also protests happening in Sacramento with Lifetime, and I know Junebug's up there with them. There are protests at the governor's district office in LA and in San Diego. So the whole state is united against these cuts.
And what specific cuts are being proposed, and which, what kind of effects are those going to have to just ordinary, regular people that are most in need of them?
Sure. Well, in terms of the impact on children, we know that the governor's proposing a $188 million cut to childcare. Some of those cuts he's calling savings, when in fact they're actually cuts. He's asking that low-income families who receive child care subsidies pay more in their parent fees. Most of these families are already struggling to pay these parent fees and are having a hard time keeping up with them. And so for the governor to try and increase them, it's going to make it even harder to keep their child care. It's probably going to mean going without some food or postponing bills, whatever it is, because every dollar a low-income family needs, they end up spending, and increased fees is just the wrong way to go. He wants to permanently cut $55 million from child care, yet we know that there are 200,000 children who are eligible to receive child care, but they're just waiting because there's a lack of funding. So there's a lack of funding, yet he wants to cut $55 million. Why isn't he using that money to invest in child care, invest in our children, invest in their parents so that they can work or go to school? We just don't understand why he'd take away that money. To CalWorks, he wants to cut 10% of the cash grants. I don't have the numbers, like the current cash grant is $723, and I think it'll bring it down to $651. I don't have the exact number on me, but in these tough economic times, when more and more families are turning to CalWorks because there aren't jobs right now, or and there aren't, it's hard to have income right now, they're turning to CalWorks. And so for him to try and cut that makes no sense, especially in these tough economic times, and especially when this is temporary relief. This is temporary assistance to families who really need it. And so he wants to cut those cash grants. One family described that as 14 meals for her child. That's what it equals to.
Can you just, for people who don't know or who are unfamiliar with CalWorks, what that is?
Sure. So CalWorks is the California welfare program, and it provides a family up to 5 years of cash assistance. In exchange, that family has to engage in some sort of work participation activity. So they're either working, they're in job training, they're in school, they're in vocational school. They are contributing back for receiving this cash assistance.
It seems to me that, cutting back the meager assistance that CalWorks even provides is going to put people in even more dire circumstances, and maybe you're going to have increased homelessness, houselessness.
Absolutely.
People are going to get more desperate.
Absolutely.
And turn to more desperate measures.
Absolutely. I mean, that's, I don't know how much farther in the ground these families have to be. I mean, it's just, that's why we were here today talking about the moral test of government, that these cuts are so immoral. These are real families. These aren't just things. These are real people, human beings who have rights and who deserve rights. And to continue to target them and cut them in these horrible times just makes no sense.
And do you have any more upcoming events, upcoming demonstrations, actions that you want to let
people
PNN
know about?
viewers in on?
I think our next act will probably be around Valentine's Day. We usually do actions related to we're going to be going to budget hearings in Sacramento in March and April. So if you're interested in finding out how to go to a budget hearing and how to testify and tell your story, it's your story that really touches legislators, that really allows them to really understand what these cuts mean, because they just see, you know, $700 million to CalWORKs, $200 to childcare, you know, $1 billion to this program, and it's hard to really know what that real impact is unless real people come forward and explain it. So please join us at budget hearings. We're having our annual Stand for Children Day rally on May 6th, 2009. It's a Wednesday, and we bus and fly people up from all over California to participate in a march, a rally, and a day that's parent-led. About 600 parents will be there, so if you're a parent, if you care about childcare and these human services, please join us.
And for people who are interested in getting in touch or learning more about your organization, where do they go on the web?
www.parentvoices.org. And we're on Facebook now too.